My Lords, I too would like to congratulate Baroness Burt for introducing the debate. I may not agree with her analysis, but it's given us an opportunity to have this debate. And Noble Baroness shouldn't worry about repeating what's been said before. It's the divine right of the House of Lords for everybody to do that. You know, and long may it rain. I'll try and avoid it, but I'm sure that I will fail. I should declare an interest. I'm a board member of the Lesbian, Gay and Bisexual Alliance. I'm, in fact, the only straight member on the board. I sort of try to get over that by saying, well, my late brother was gay, as though that gave me some, added credibility. I'm not sure whether it does or doesn't, but they're an interesting organisation. Why did I get interested in this topic? Well, I wasn't interested in this topic at all. In fact, I had no knowledge of it whatsoever. Until J.K. Rowling said, people who menstruate, wasn't there a word for this? What was it? Oh, no, it was woman, wasn't it? Woman. And the very people who she'd made multimillionaires of and whose careers she'd had fostered then turned on her and accused her of being transphobic. Now, this lies at the heart of some of this debate. If you assert that there is a biological identity of people, of male and female, then you are liable to be accused of transphobia. Actually, it hasn't happened to me. The people who get accused of it are mainly women. Now, transgender people are a very small section of our community, as Noble Baroness Burt reminded us. That doesn't mean to say they should be ignored or in any way discriminated against. And I hasten to add that I would defend to the death their rights not to be discriminated against. But that doesn't mean to say that we should underestimate, if we pass the wrong legislation or do everything that some transgender people want us to do, that we should ignore the impact on other groups. And the groups that concern me are obviously children and women. And it's women's safe spaces that have been put at risk time and time again. They've done this, whether it's been in hospitals, and mental hospitals, whether it's been women's refuges, there'd been real risk. And my noble friend I've changed his gender. My noble friend Lord Cashman said, transgender people don't do any harm. Well, by and large, the bulk of them don't do any harm, but some actually do. And we had an appalling situation. Unfortunately, Baroness Manor Castle isn't here when she lauded the Scottish legislation. Really? Self-identification at 16? The case of the transgender woman who'd already been convicted of sexual crimes, managed to persuade prison authorities and then raped a woman in the prison. Nicola Sturgeon's response, well, that's just one incident. One incident. There have been other incidents. So this is not some marginal issue. And I would tell you something else about this that you may not be. This is a cult. It really is a cult. And it has invaded government departments. It's invaded the BBC. It's there. It'll be interesting in 10 years' time whether or not people will hold these extreme views that are being held today. I want to congratulate this government, not on the people who said we need this bill. That's not true at all, in my opinion, for two very important things that they've done. And I'm glad that the Noble Baroness Faulkner is sitting in her seat, because one of the most important things they did was to appoint her as chair of the Equality and Human Rights Commission. She had the courage to actually assert this question of male and female sex, and what happened to her? A concerted attempt to remove her as chair, which eventually was happily defeated. And the other superb thing that this government did, and I want to congratulate Noble Lord Sandhurst. Well, he's gone. Can't congratulate him. OK. Well, he wins the prize because he was the first person who mentioned the Cass Review, a fundamentally important piece of work that the government commissioned. What a wonderful woman she is. And I just looked at it, and this is her letter to children and young people. Children and young people accessing the NHS deserve safe, timely and supportive services, and clinical staff with the training and expertise to meet their healthcare needs. That's what we ought to be focusing on, not some vague idea that there might be people at risk. They're not the challenge that we face. I don't want to go over too long. So, if you look at what happened in the Tavistock Clinic, which was an absolute travesty, significant numbers of people who were being dealt with puberty blockers were actually on the autistic spectrum and needed very careful handling. We saw a massive increase in young girls who decided that they were suffering from being in the wrong body. If you talk to clinicians who know about this, they'll tell you that was social media had a huge impact on that. So we really need to be careful of how we proceed in this area.